Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Inland Empire Sports Talk. Mike Lindsay here with BSN Sports. Today, I have one of the assistant coaches from UCR, Cody. Cody, thanks for being with us.
No problem. Glad to be here.
So, Cody, tell us a little bit about your background in baseball as well as the UCR baseball program.
Yeah, so I've been playing baseball my whole life. Grew up in a baseball family. Local guy. Went to Riverside Christian High School and then finished up over at Corona Centennial. After that, went over and played 4 years at Cal State Dominguez Hills in Carson. Was able to learn a lot. Met a lot of good people, learned about college baseball through there, and kind of fell in love with college baseball. Kind of knew that was where my path wanted to go. And kind of just took off from there. So finished my 4 years, got into some scouting, helped out a little bit with the Angels and the Blue Jays, and then went over and went to Hope International University. Was over there for, I think, 4 or 5 years. Helped start that program. There was no baseball program there. Came in as a recruiting coordinator, assistant coach for head coach Eric Full, who's there now. Had a ton of success over there. He was actually my assistant coach in college. So easy transition for me. Kind of knew the system, all that. Kind of knew everything that he wanted to do, the culture he kind of wanted to establish. And, went there for 5 years. Had a great experience. Kind of fell even more in love with the game of college baseball and then coaching and recruiting. So that kind of opened up some more doors for me, and then was able to come over to UCR. Been at UCR now for 2 years now, finished my second year. So over with Coach Percival over there and had a blast and loving it over there. Like I said, I'm a local guy, so really easy transition for me to kind of know the area and things like that. So
Nice. So talk to me a little bit about recruiting, especially for UCR, Division I Big West program. And right now, you guys would normally be going and watching high school games, looking at film. So how has the recruiting changed in the COVID pandemic?
yeah, I mean, it's definitely changed a lot in the sense that we're not watching games, So like you said, so I think the biggest thing for us as far as recruiting based on the circumstances we have is more so for the JC guys. We were pretty much almost done with the 2020 high school class, maybe one or two more guys that we had already seen that were maybe trying to lock up. But, we weren't able to see really any JC baseball at all this year, which we were planning on getting a few guys from that. So definitely had to make some adjustments and kind of based on guys we've seen in high school years past, in the fall, those kinds of things. And then obviously not being able to see high school guys, which is key for us. We love to go see high school games as much as we can during the season. But, not being able to see those younger guys, 2021s, 22s, and then maybe some 20s that we're kind of missing out on.
So obviously you're hoping for the fall season to come because UCR does run their own fall season.
Right.
I helped you run it last year.
Right.
And then also with the JC showcases that come out, the ones up at Consumnes Rivers, the one that was at Canyon or Mount Sac.
Yeah, Mount Sac.
Mount Sac last year. So going and seeing those is going to be intricate for you guys.
Yeah, definitely.
What would you tell prospective recruits to be doing right now while they're at home?
There's no blueprint, as long as you're doing something. I think that's the key, is staying in your routine. I've been able to, for me personally, I've been able to kind of sit back and learn and see as much as I can through this time. And, the biggest thing I've got from it, from other coaches who are much smarter than I am, is staying in your routine. It's really easy these days to sleep till 11, sleep till 12, and not do anything. And as long as you're doing something, I think that's the right answer, is doing something throughout this process, because it can be tough. Some guys have access to equipment, some guys don't. Some guys have access to catch play partners, some guys don't. But everyone can do push-ups, everyone can do sit-ups, everyone can stretch.
Yep.
I think as long as you're doing something, it's going to be beneficial, because there's not going to be an excuse when it starts back up to say, oh, well, I couldn't do anything, because everyone's in a situation. So being able to do something and get as ready as you possibly can for when we do get going.
Yeah, I'm seeing that theme across all the different coaches we have come in. I've had one coach is like, Walmart's still open. You can go buy tennis balls. Yeah. The street's still open. You can still go run down the street, because speed is still going to be necessary at all levels.
Yeah. I mean, it's nothing we've ever experienced before. I feel for our guys, and I feel for baseball players across the country in all levels just losing their season. Obviously, there's much more bigger safety concerns out there that people are going through. But we have guys getting ready for the draft, and they still got to get ready for the draft. They can't just sit around and do nothing either. So kind of have that mindset, like, you're practicing to play.
Absolutely. I mean, I love the fact that you brought up the draft and social distancing, because obviously we are socially distanced here. We have our Purell, we have our masks out. But the draft this year is going to be very different, because it historically had been 40.
Right.
And now it could be potentially cut down to 5. I don't think Major League Baseball's announced yet exactly how many rounds. And also the fact that now you have seniors from last year that are eligible to come back this year again. So how does that change the way you guys kind of create your roster looking at 2021?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's all brand new to us. We've been, on the phone, conference calls, Zooms, you name it, trying to get this thing figured out of how we're going to manage our roster, and then how the university wants to go about it as far as budgeting. And like I said, it's all new for everyone, so we're trying to do the best we can, and they're trying to do the best they can. We're trying to do the best, what's in the best interest for the players. Mm-hmm. We obviously want to take care of our guys, and we're going to do so as much as the school allows us to, and budgetary constrictions allow us to. So, the draft is going to be tricky, because it could be as little as 5 rounds. I've been hearing 5, hearing 10. No one really knows. And the free agent thing, $20,000 to go get a free agent max. So who knows? Some guys are going to go do that, and different avenues. So it's all very tricky. We're trying to, do right by our guys as much as possible, which I think we're going to. Be able to bring a majority of our seniors back. And then you also got to account for the freshmen and the kids coming in that are already committed. So it's a good balance. I think you're going to see some interesting rosters come the fall and the spring. It's a tough job for coaches out there, especially head coaches. Not jealous.
Speaking of your head coach, Troy, talk to me about the culture and his style, if you will, of coaching.
He's great. The guy, I don't know if you've been able to watch, but they've been playing those 0-2 World Series last couple of days on TV.
The nostalgia when I was in right field.
Yeah. So he's a winner, and he's tough. Those two things combined are a good recipe. He's an amazing communicator with guys, and he's very good at allowing players to be the players. I think he does an excellent job of allowing guys to showcase themselves and be comfortable. It's a very loose environment, very pro ball style environment, where he trusts guys and he gives them a lot of responsibility. I think sometimes it backfires on them, but for the most part, guys really, really respond to it. They leave UCR with a good experience, a really good experience. They come in and especially, you see, we have a couple guys that go to other programs and are fortunate to get back to the Division I level, and they have a blast. They really just enjoy being there, because it's different. Troy preaches that environment of go be you, go be you and go have fun and showcase your skills, and he's going to go to war with you. And it's been fun to kind of see, guys kind of are there for a reason, so let them be them and not have to fold them or mold them. Percy's great. He's taught me a lot, and he continues to kind of build that culture and get the players he wants in there and grow with them.
Now, can you speak a little bit to the style of baseball that you guys like to run at UCR, or the type of athletes that you guys usually try to recruit? Because obviously on the West Coast, it's always been small ball that Augie Garrido kind of created out here, and then you have very differentiating. You have Jay Johnson, who wants everything, and Rich Hill, who want everything very slow, meticulous. Then you got Reggie Christensen. It's like, no, if I can literally have him on the mound and throwing in 5 seconds, then I would. And where does he kind of fit on that gamut?
It's interesting because, like I said, we just finished my second year there, and we've had 2 completely different rosters. My first year there, we were second in the conference in doubles, home runs. We hit the ball a long way. We had 2 decently high draft picks that really hit for power. I think one had 19 home runs, one had 14.
Yep.
And a couple other guys who could really hit around them. And the pitching staff struggled last year. Due to some injuries and things like that. And then this year was complete opposite. We had some really, really good pitching staff that was off to a good start, and an offense that played more small ball, that was more athletic. ran a little bit more and things like that. So I think the answer is for us and for me personally is I'm going to go out when I'm recruiting and find the best players, whether it's a right-handed hitter that plays corner outfield and doesn't run as well, or it's a left-handed athlete that runs really well and can hit. I think you as a coaching staff, what we have to do is adjust to the athletes we have. I think that's a disservice to the players if we say, come in and you have to play this way, but your strength is this. I think it's our job to adjust to them and build our team kind of philosophy off the personnel we have.
Perfect. So what are you guys always striving for? Because obviously you're in an extremely competitive conference where in, 10 years, 5 different representatives from the Big West have gone to the College World Series or made Super Regionals. So how does the landscape of college baseball, specifically for the Big West, versus when you play the WCC teams, the Mountain West teams, the WAC teams, how do you guys see the Big West and the landscape that you guys have to deal with in conference play?
Yeah, the Big West is going to pitch. Night in and night out, you're going to get a bona fide starter with a really good bullpen at you that's going to throw strikes, they're going to attack you, they're going to be aggressive. You look at it, you look at Fullerton, Irvine, Long Beach, Santa Barbara was off to a tremendous start last year and then this year as well. We know those guys are going to pitch, so you're going to have to be competitive. You're going to have to take really good at bats. You're going to have to take really good 2-strike at bats. You're going to have to be aggressive, but understand that that'll play into their strength as well. And you got to play defense. And all these schools in the Big West are going to play really, really good defense. Tremendous defense, and that's what kind of the motto is that they kind of build around the Big West. You go see a WAC school, for instance, it might be a little bit different where they're going to go and they're going to bang. They're going to be really, really offensive, and they're going to hit the ball a long way when you make mistakes. So I think as far as the Big West goes, you have to pitch, you have to play defense, because these teams do it so well. And if you don't do it well, they're really good at exposing with it. They've been doing it for so long, and like you said, you named all the good programs, Cal Poly SLO, all these teams in there that have a lot of success in kind of different ways, but playing also similar baseball where things kind of lead up or match up the same across the board.
I get the luxury, if you will, of bouncing around between different conferences. And the difference you see at Reno or New Mexico State with that high elevation and the way that they recruit comparatively to Pepperdine, who's right off the beach,
right,
with the marine layer. It's just a completely different ballpark and atmosphere that the players have to play with. UCR is interesting because it's very dry there, but the field is just so large, but it looks smaller than it actually is because of the bright blue.
Right.
So talk to me about how the players and what advantages you guys get, and how do you have to teach your players to work in that space?
I think it plays true. It really does play into a true ballpark. Me personally, I won't recruit guys to our ballpark. I don't see it as an advantage one way or the other. I think it's just a true ballpark. That, if you have a guy who can hit for power, he's going to still hit for power there. If you have a guy who's not going to hit for a lot of power, he's still going to get his hits there and still going to be effective in your lineup. I don't see us having a dramatic advantage or disadvantage with our field. You go to some places, like you said, that high elevation, smaller field, you're going to probably want to get maybe a little bit lesser athlete that can just hit the ball a long way. I don't think necessarily we have that advantage or disadvantage. I think we, like I said, it plays true. We had some of those guys last year. Connor Cannon made that place look like Cracker Jack box.
Well, I had him when it was 32 degrees at first pitch at Reno. You hit one and you're like, there's no chance, and that thing just kept on going. You're like,
yeah,
there's no way that golf ball should have gone.
Yeah. I think the field aspect is, it's different. It's different across the board wherever you go, especially in conference too. I think every place you go in conference, I think it's a more pitcher-friendly conference ballpark. But then you have, the Northridges that's a little smaller than others.
Is that still going to be true of Northridge with all their renovations once they're done?
I'm not sure what they're kind of planning on doing with that. But they've done a great job as far as getting that field and that stadium upgraded and everything like that.
I didn't get a chance to go to that one last year. Is there anything that UCR has planned or that you know of development-wise for your guys' field or for your program?
We're in the works. We're constantly we have great leadership over there with the administration that's constantly trying to help us get better and provide that stuff for us, as well as a lot of great alumni who have a lot of pride in Riverside and UCR. That are constantly trying to help out with whatever they can, with the field, with the players, whatever we can do to help get these guys whatever they need. I know there's a lot of blueprint plans, but until we get it signed on the dotted line, then we'll kind of keep it down low.
Oh, yeah. There's always that going on.
Yeah.
So with everything going on, obviously there's recruits. You told them just do anything is better than nothing. If you could leave them with one thing and one piece of hope for this summer and for this fall, what would you tell the parents and the kids at home?
It's going to end. It's going to end, whether it's a month or 2 months or 3 months, 6 months, whatever it is. That just know there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and that the work that you put in is going to be beneficial. It's going to help you in some way. There will be baseball. Just be patient with it. Spend time with your families. Enjoy that. I know I'm enjoying that right now. And just keep working. Find something to do. Like I said, whatever you can do, run, throw against a wall. This is a really good time for the mental makeup side of things. There's a lot of really good reads out there, a lot of good things to listen to, a lot of good people out there to kind of learn from. And maybe you take this time to get better as a mental baseball player and really learn the game. So if you're doing something like I said, it's going to be beneficial.
Absolutely. Well, Cody, thank you for joining us this week. And for anyone and any coach out there that wants to become a part of the program, please just email. It's right below. And this has been brought to you by BSN Sports. Thanks, everyone. God bless. Bye-bye.